Hey, morning, Jake. How are you this morning?
Morning, Peter. Yes, all good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. So, could you tell me a little about yourself, please, and your business, Jake?
Yeah. So I now run a social media agency called Outwork Social, which is based off the back of my 6-year career as a photographer and videographer. So I worked in a whole lot of different industries, kind of from high-end nightlife to professional sports to influencer marketing, corporate stuff, worked in alcohol. So there's been a whole kind of mad variety of stuff, but that's what I love about it.
And so, when you were growing up, is this what you envisaged doing? Is this what you always wanted to do, or how did you come about doing what you do now?
Kind of. So I got given a camera for my 16th birthday, which I was kind of getting into photography because my older cousin was super into it. And the first thing I did with the camera was sneak it into a festival in London and take loads of photos. We managed to sneak into VIP, so it was like 3 people from the front with this tiny Nick. It was a Nikon D3300 with a kit lens on it. So we were like 4 people from the front, and I was taking photos of like David Guetta and Nicki Minaj and stuff just because we had got tickets for this thing. So I fell in love with it just straight from then. I didn't initially think it was going to kind of become a career, but I loved it so much I didn't want to do anything else.
But I know who they are, which is fantastic. I don't know them personally, but I know who they are. So that's made me feel younger already. So, Jake, tell me, who would be your ideal customer? Who would tell me about your ideal customer?
Ideal customer is an interesting one. And it kind of depends on what sort of service you're looking to go after. I mean, from a videography perspective, the ideal customer is just someone who's got kind of an interesting story to tell or an interesting product. Like, I don't know, for example, I don't know, the alcohol brands always seem to be brilliant because there's always just amazing brand story kind of behind all that. Someone who really loves what they do, because then it makes it really easy for me to kind of get that across in a video, and someone who's obviously enthusiastic on camera and knows what they want and knows what they're talking about, and it just makes the whole thing a pleasure. And then the final product's always going to be amazing if you're enthusiastic while I'm filming. So yeah, someone who loves what they're doing.
And tell me, what's been the biggest learning that you've had since becoming a business owner?
Biggest learning curve. That's kind of a tough one. That, I mean, there's been a real variety. Managing people, it was a real interesting one because I was in Brighton for about a year and a half, running a smaller kind of media company there that I started. So we were kind of doing all the photography and videography for a lot of the kind of major bars and clubs in Brighton. And I had a couple of kind of full-time, well, I would call them full-time freelancers because they didn't only work for me, but most of the work was with me. And just kind of managing schedules and managing expectations of people, I think was definitely the toughest thing.
And tell me, who's the first person that springs to mind when you think about the word success?
Success. I don't really know, to be honest. It depends on your definition of success, really.
What's your definition of who would be, if you just think, what would be your knee-jerk first, if you say the word success, who would be the first person that come to mind?
Alex Hormozi, if you know who that is, he would be the first person.
You've made me feel old again now. You had me with David Guetta and Nicki Minaj, and now you've put me back in the box. So go on, tell me more.
He's great. His content's brilliant. He does a lot of business-related content, and he does 8 figures a year or something insane. You should look him up. Really, really good stuff.
So tell me, what's the biggest challenge that you've faced in your business?
Biggest challenge. Well, initially it was kind of just getting the name out there and generating the work. But then obviously once that kind of kicked off, I found that especially service-based stuff, especially if you're in the same place, everything kind of just snowballs. It's all like word of mouth stuff. And then the difficulty now is because I've just moved back from London in September. So I'm essentially starting fresh in a totally new market with the same skill set. So I'm now kind of trying to feel my way around the world of kind of paid ads and cold outreach. So that's been difficult, trying to actually be a salesperson essentially. Well, not really a salesperson, not like that, but learning about kind of that form of marketing yourself rather than just doing the actual work. That's been an interesting kind of learning curve coming back here.
Tell me, what inspires you? What gives you the most inspiration today?
In terms of what? Just in general?
Yeah, absolutely.
What inspires me today, I just want to make sure I reach my full potential as fast as possible, to be totally honest. So, I mean, making sure that happens is probably my inspiration. Bit of a fire under my arse, to put it lightly.
And what if it was possible and you could go back and give advice to your 18-year-old self? What would that be?
Just keep going. Just keep doing it. Like, 'cause it's just as long as you put the work in, like, it's always just going to be an upward trajectory, generally speaking. Do you know what I mean? Like, cumulative interest. As long as you do it for long enough and do the same amount of it or enough of it, like, you just do an amount of work that would be unreasonable for you not to succeed.
And I think next Friday, 25% of the year will be gone. So what are you most excited about for the remaining 75% of 2023?
Well, I'm in the middle of a whole kind of half sort of rebrand process. So I'm having a new kind of offer developed and a new paid ads system created by a freelancer who I've known for a while. So having and implementing that, because it's going to be the first time I've done any sort of actual formal marketing of my own business that wasn't word of mouth. So I'm really excited to see how that pans out, and I'm hoping it's going to be a total game changer.
Excellent. And if somebody wanted to reach out and get in touch, Jake, what would be the best way to go about that?
Instagram's good. So my personal Instagram is iamjake.co, or the company one is Outwork Social.
Brilliant. Okay, well, Jake Thompson from Outwork Social, thanks very much for your time this morning. It's been great to hear about your journey and your business, and I wish you all the success in your new venture and the best of luck for the rest of 2023 and beyond.
Thanks very much, Peter. You too.